Hi, this is Encouragement, bite-sized stories to refresh your soul. Here's Jim Smith with a little encouragement.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had God reveal himself to you in a small, minute detail? Well, Pastor Philip Griffin shares this story. These are his words. When our church in Texas was young, we were baptizing lots of people, so we brought in a small indoor swimming pool. And one Sunday, there were about 30 people who were planning to be baptized, but just before the service, we realized that we didn't have a hose to fill the baptismal pool. I had a leaky hose at home, so I asked other staff members, but no one had a hose, so I decided to go buy one. As I was leaving the church to get the hose, a young man named John, who I hadn't met before, stopped me in the parking lot and said, "I'm glad I caught you, Pastor. I need to talk to you." I told him I was running a quick errand, but he said, No, I need to talk now. So we headed for my office, and when we got there, this young man, John, said to me, "I want to know if you're for real, and I want to know if your God is for real. I need to know if he really can love somebody like me." I shared with John how God says to each and every one of us that there's nothing we can do or say to make him not love us. I said he doesn't always love our behavior, but he always loves us. This young man then shared with me a list of personal struggles and setbacks and heartaches that he'd endured recently, and the more he shared with me, the more I sensed that he was also battling serious depression. A few minutes later, John added, "I know how the Bible describes God, and a while back I tried to go to another church, but when I shared my struggles with them, they told me that I wasn't praying hard enough. So I need to know if you're for real." I said, "Absolutely, I'm for real, and so is my God." I introduced him to another young man at our church who was in charge of coordinating small groups, and one of those groups ended up embracing John. As we started to leave my office, he said, "Now I want to tell you one more thing." At this point, I'll confess I was thinking, I'm not going to have time to get that hose. But I listened as John said, "When I pulled into your parking lot today, I wasn't planning to stop here. I was on my way to kill myself." Realizing that I'd been correct in suspecting that he was battling serious depression, I asked John if he had made a plan for ending his life. He said yes, and it was already in motion. "I went to the hardware store this morning and bought a garden hose and some duct tape. My plan was to drive down this little country road and tape the hose to my muffler and feed it into my car window." I sat there in astonishment, and I finally said, "John, for real? You bought a garden hose?" I got a glimpse of redemption that day. I saw John cross the line of faith and let Christ guide his feet onto a different path. And I saw God take something that was intended for death, that hose, and use it to fill up something that represents life, our church's baptismal pool. From that day on, our brother John has allowed us to tell that story every time we do baptisms. What a beautiful example of the truth of Paul's words in Romans 8:28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good for those who are called according to his purpose.
Thank you for listening to Encouragement. If you've been refreshed, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share a little encouragement with someone you love. Encouragement is a podcast from Family Radio. These stories are just a taste of the stories you can hear every day. Listen at familyradio.org or find more encouragement on the Family Radio app.